Hello everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I'm carrying on with my grungy Pearl Jam journal. I got it put together. It's got 10 pages, so that's front and back, that's 40 pages to write on. And this is what it looks like so far. I haven't done anything. But it's all ready to go and ready for me to start working in. So, and I did put some charms, which I haven't done for quite a while. But since this is for my friend, she likes celestial stuff. She lives in Massachusetts, so we have flown back and forth to see each other many times. And yeah, that's what I have there. So I'm gonna do the cover. I'm just doing something simple. So let's get to it. So I think I'm kind of telling the story of how I became a Pearl Jam super fan, and I left off. I'm gonna actually glue this on first. So I left off in '98. I had finally weaned my daughter, so I could leave for hours and go to a concert. It had been a lot of years since I've been to a concert, and I had a friend who also worked for me. I had an in-home daycare, and she was my daycare assistant, and she was about 15 years younger than me. It was funny because it's kind of like we had these weird generational things going. So she was 15 years younger, and then her parents were like 15 years older. So we had these weird gaps, but we're still friends to this day. She started working for me in, I think, 97, maybe 96. I can't remember. Anyway, she got tickets. It was very hard to get tickets to Pearl Jam, and that was back in the days when you had to call on the telephone. It was before the internet. You either had to call or you had to go stand in line somewhere. I remember standing in line for Bruce Springsteen tickets. But she got tickets. We were all actually trying to call. And she's the one that got through and got tickets. So I was going to my first Pearl Jam concert, and this was in the summer, in July of 1998. It was my husband's, let's see, what anniversary was it? So let's see, 16. We had been married 16 years, 15 years, something like that. And anyway, so it was, yeah, I was very excited, very grateful to my friend for getting me tickets. And I was also terrified. I was convinced, even though everyone in the band is my age, yeah, we're all the same age, the band and my husband and I still felt like I was going to be the oldest person there. I was very nervous. And I'm telling you, we got there, and it was not reserved seating. And it was in not a huge stadium, but it was in a stadium at the Seattle Center that I don't think is even there anymore. Where my husband played a high school football, and I went to many high school football games there. And anyway, that's where it was an outdoor concert, and it was all general admission. So we got there really early, sat in line. Met a whole bunch of people. There was a ton of people who were my age or older. So I felt really comfortable really fast. And we did get seats, because there were a lot of seats, because it was, you know, like a high school athletic stadium. And let's see, I like that. I think I want to put something under here, and I was thinking of maybe something like this. I'm not sure. Let's see what these look like. So that would go there, there. Well, that looks kind of good. Let's do another one. So anyway, yeah, it was amazing. Like, it was just an amazing show. My husband and I, we both cried. I mean, it was just so good. And they did a few, well, not a few, but they did, a few maybe covers. I didn't realize that I had a lot to learn about Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder, the lead singer in particular. And he is a big, that looks kind of cool. He's a big Who fan. So that was fun. They did Who cover. They did Baba O'Reilly. I can't remember. They also cover some Neil Young stuff. But yeah, it was just great. And basically from that point on, I told my husband that we would never miss seeing Pearl Jam when they performed in Seattle, because it was just so great. So the next time they came was in 2000, and it was in the winter. And well, I also went right home and signed up for the fan club, and so that was really great to be able to get emails and find stuff out. Even though a lot of the stuff came in the mail, a lot of the stuff that I have for this journal came from stuff that I did get in the mail from the fan club. So yeah, so we went and saw them in 2000. And then what happened? Oh, they played a festival in Denmark called Roskilde, and 9 people died at one of their shows, and it was through no fault of their own. The people that put on the festival did not put enough safeguards in place, and they had a big rainstorm come through, and it was super muddy, and people got trampled. It was awful. It was just awful. And the internet was getting much bigger in those days. And I had been on a Pearl Jam message board, and they, everyone was speculating, is the band are they gonna stop performing? What's gonna happen? And they canceled a bunch of shows, and then I don't know. I don't quite know chronologically what all happened, but they canceled shows. They, announced they were not making any decisions. They also did a lot of charity work for the victims of that tragedy. They did go to court and were found completely, they were not at fault at all. It was all on the promoters and the people that put on the show. But it was devastating, and so I was looking for other Pearl Jam fans to talk to about it. What where we could all speculate. Everybody that felt the same way that I did. And so I found a chat. It was, there was AOL, and then there was, I can't remember what they were called, MIRC, something like that. It was, anyway, it was a chat room, and I started participating, and I made friends that I still have to this day in that chat room. And it was just it was just really, it was great. It was great to talk to other Pearl Jam fans. I had never in all of my life joined a fan club. I think my mom was like in an Elvis fan club. But I had never, I was never fanatical about anything. And so to be this, I would say obsessed is a pretty accurate word. So, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, made a lot of friends. A couple in particular that, like I said, that I'm still friends with to this day. And you could talk in the chat room, in the main chat, and then you could also do private chatting, private messaging, which my friend, who I'm actually making this journal for, so we did that. And we talked about people behind their back. We talked about guys who were really cute. We were like, there was not very many females. It's mostly, Pearl Jam does kind of attract probably more of a male fan, but we would get jealous and sassy of any women that came. It's so funny to talk about it now, but yeah, that's what we did. And then when they were touring in 2002, they were starting a tour, and they hadn't performed, since the tragedy in Roskilde, and they were doing 4 warm-up shows in Seattle. And 2 of them were at this small club called the Showbox. And my husband surprised me with tickets to this small club that I think it held 1,000 people maybe. And again, we went. My life was completely changed seeing him in this small venue. But at this time, I had been, chatting with people in the chat room for like 6 months maybe. And we all decided to meet in Las Vegas to see Pearl Jam. My husband and I had never been to Vegas, but we were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Let's live on the edge. Let's, be rock and rollers, whatever. We took our kids. My parents came and they took care of the kids while we went to the show. So that was fun. I also had an aunt who lived there, so we went to visit her. But we stayed at the Luxor. It was just fun. We had such a good time, and I met all the people that hung out in the chat room. We all met, and it was just, it was so fun. And yeah, so that was the beginning of my complete and total fascination with Pearl Jam. And yeah, I made great friends. And like I said, I'm still friends with quite a few of them. You know, missing out on the last couple of tours because of my cancer and treatment were tough, but I just didn't have it in me to attend. So yeah, the person that I'm making this for, she lives in northern Massachusetts, right on the border of New Hampshire. And after Vegas, which was in June, she's like, I have tickets for July 4th. I think they were going to play 3 shows or 4 shows in the Boston area. And I said, what the hell? And I went to Massachusetts, where I'd never been, and saw Pearl Jam. Went and stayed at my friend's house. Yeah, it was great. I believe we went to 2 shows. I couldn't stay. They added a third, but I couldn't stay for that because it was going to be my husband's birthday, and I didn't want to miss his birthday. Oh shoot! You know what? I was gonna put a string through here. Oh look, I can still do it. Yes. Okay. Don't know how bulky this is gonna be. I don't want to do single though, so I'm gonna put it through double. Okay. Yeah, so it was just great. I had an amazing time. I don't know how to push this through here. And then, yeah, and from then on, we traveled to see Pearl Jam. We traveled quite a bit. I went to Massachusetts for many tours. And so we had been to Vegas. Oof. Okay, got it. But yes, it was very fun. And yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna stop storytelling for a moment. I want these to be even, so I'm concentrating on that. That's pretty close. There we go. That's pretty close. So then, let's see. I am going to put some glue in here. Yeah, and then one of the friends I had, still have, so Pearl Jam was not really strict about recording at their shows, and he was good friends with a big person who was a recorder, who recorded a whole bunch, bootleg recorded a bunch of shows, and so that was really fun. Yeah, so I got bootleg shows to many of their concerts, and that was fun. I learned how to copy and burn CDs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I learned a lot. I never recorded any shows, but I did take some. Well, I didn't even really take photographs until we had until cell phones had good cameras. But yeah. Okay, so there we go. There's my cover. And I think that's it for today. So yeah, I will continue my Pearl Jam story. I have a really great story that I'll probably tell next time. I have to. I have a Pearl Jam scrapbook, so I have to. I have to go look at it and see what year. See what year that I did something brave. And yeah, that's it. So there we go. There is what it's going to look like. And next time we will do some work inside. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope, I know probably a lot of you don't care one bit about music or Pearl Jam or, my whole journey, but I think it's kind of fun. And it makes me happy to talk about it and remember all those really good things. And I need something that makes me happy right now. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so have a great rest of your day, everyone. Remember to be good to yourself. Do something that makes you happy, like brings you so much joy that you just feel it exuding from inside. We all need that these days. And be kind to each other. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.